am Leroy Truth. Welcome, everyone. I am Leroy Truth for Leroy Truth Investigations, and this is going to be a banger of a show. I have a special guest with me, but before I introduce him, please put a 1 in the room if you can hear me clearly, and if you can see me clearly as well. And I want to shout out to Angry Vet, Rob L., Juggalasses, Just Julie, Gary Bryan, Miss Constitution State, Fing, Huntington Township Watch. I love all of you. SJD News, D, Disability Advocate, TAC, Fing. May have said Fing. If not, you get it twice. And this show is crazy. Why? Is it because I'm crazy? Is it because my guest is crazy? No. I might be crazy in a good way. I think my guest is as well. But there's the good crazy and the bad crazy. And this is the updates on the insanity of Union City, New Jersey, and who is not even arguably the dumbest mayor in the United States of America, Mayor Brian P. Stack, who's also a state senator of New Jersey and the head of the Judiciary Committee. He's the guy who helps pick all the judges and the justices and the attorney general and the prosecutors. He's got everything locked up there. And he is also allegedly the most corrupt mayor in the United States of America. And I get people all the time in the comments that will say, no, that Dalton woman, she's the most corrupt. She's not the most corrupt. She's just the most blatant. She's not connected. She has her little kingdom. Mayor Brian Stack is connected. He overlords numerous other towns in Hudson County, New Jersey. You know, he actually is running Weehawken, New Jersey. Mayor Turner makes believe he runs Weehawken. He also runs, accordingly to a number of people, West New York, which Mr. Mayor Siri, who used to be a congressman, runs actually. So we're going to give you lots of updates today. And I want to introduce my special guest, which is my very good friend, my man who has my back. And he has been with me on numerous occasions in Union City, New Jersey. This is, you know him, you're getting to know him if you don't know him already, and you will love him. Mr. Full Court Press is in the house. Welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me, Leroy. Yeah, I've had your back. We've been doing this for a couple of months with this Brian Stack story, and it's getting crazier and crazier, to say the least.
Yes. And I want to say this, if you haven't subscribed to Mr. Full Court Press, please subscribe to him. He just broke 3,000 subscribers. He's a new and upcoming channel, one of my favorite channels. And I was just talking with Brian, here's the deal. And Brian really appreciates his groundedness, you know, the really gentle way he has about him. And he's become,
we've become good friends. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. And I appreciate you. And Raya Hoot, the truth will make you Leroy. That's a new one. And here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, Leroy Truth is not simply a man, it's a mission. I'm Leroy Truth. You're Leroy Truth. We are all Leroy Truth. And the truth, as Raya Hoot says, will make you Leroy. You're only Leroy Truth. And right off the bat, Roy Sally from Netherlands, thank you so much for the super chat there. And if you'd like to share a super chat, that would be awesome. It helps to support the work. This work costs a lot, and we don't make a lot of money from it. So any support you can give to the mission is always appreciated. So let's start at the beginning. And to give you a Cliff Note version, what are we here for today? We're here to review what has happened in a very Cliff Note version in Union City, New Jersey, and what happened yesterday, which was an entire shite show. Would you agree? Full Court Press, who was with me?
It was completely bananas. I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. You know, I expected, we expect the typical, usual pushback from the mayor and his minions. But this just went out of control.
Right. There was a mob, and the mob allegedly was organized by 3 mayors. Because what we have, ladies and gentlemen, is I have people who are very powerfully sharing information with me, not only in Union City, New Jersey, but in Weehawken, New Jersey, and in West New York, New Jersey, Jersey City, all through Hudson County. They've been following the story and my investigation of Brian Stack, and they are giving me information, very valuable information. And one of the pieces that I've learned over the last 2 weeks is that allegedly Mayor Stack, the mayor of Weehawken, New Jersey, Mayor Turner, and the mayor of West New York, ex-Congressman Series, has been literally having secret meetings and conspiring against me, conspiring on how to unlawfully arrest me or how to bait me or set me up to get me arrested so I would ideally stop investigating Brian Stack, allegedly the most corrupt mayor in America. And if that ain't a crime, ladies and gentlemen, 3 mayors are conspiring against me. And Brian, I know you watch this. And Mayor Turner, I know you're watching this. Mayor Siri, I know you're watching this. You suck. And you're going down. If you do crimes, you will do the time, especially when you have investigative journalists like Leroy Truth Investigations and Full Court Press.
Absolutely.
And we have nothing against you personally, but we do have something against you when it comes to breaking the people's trust. You are given sacred trust, and it is being vomited on every single day by each of you. And when I found out about your secret meetings, and I know you had one in Weehawken, was it last week? Full court?
What day were we?
Yeah, it was Tuesday after the city commissioners meeting.
Yeah.
And it was nuts. And so I'm going to give a very Cliff Note version to bring you all up to speed. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to Full Court Press and smash the like button. Like this video. Let's get more people on this. Share this with your friends, your family. And also, we're going to have a call-in show. You'll be able to ask questions of me, ask questions of Full Court Press as well. Now, the Cliff Note version of Union City. In the beginning, good guy activism, one day, a little over 3 months ago, said, hey, Leroy, would you like to go on a few audits with me? Sure. And he said, hey, would you like to, I don't know, maybe go, say, Union City? What the heck? We'll go to Union City. We knew nothing about it. It was a random choice. We went there, and a woman in the court records room didn't like that I was doing this. And what did she do? What do you think she did, Full Court?
Call the police.
What's the time? Oh, the time just moved. It just said 911. It just went to 912. It was 911. She called 911. And you know what? When I was in the records room the other day, Full Court, and she was being so polite and so gracious and helpful. And I was checking on the Justin MERCADO attack criminal case,
right?
Who Justin MERCADO attacked me. And I said, by the way, did you know that you started all this? That because you called 911, you're going to end up bringing Mayor Stack down?
Right.
And I said, I'm not getting on your case. You know, you didn't know what you didn't know at the time. And she was very kind last time. But I want to let you know the repercussions of calling 911 erroneously. And ladies and gentlemen, 911 has its place, but it does not have a place if you see a freaking man or a woman with a cell phone. People have died many times because people call 911 erroneously. And I'm not actually yelling at you, the viewers, because you're not the ones who would do this. But maybe we have a few trolls in here. They'll call 911 and get men with guns to come to a camera, to a man with a camera. And that puts everyone's lives in jeopardy. But it happened to be the thing that is going to end up bringing Brian Stack down. And this woman learned. So I celebrate her. I'm not going to give her name. I don't want her single out or embarrass. But because she didn't know what she didn't know, and now she does, she is one of the most friendly, one of the most gracious, one of the most professional people I deal with now in Union City. So that's something. We have made a difference there. So good guy activism, I go there. And what happens? She calls 911. A detective named George Haber comes upstairs to the mayor's lobby, where I'm simply interacting and asking about, literally I was asking about Full Court, Union City. I didn't know about it. I said, who's the mayor? Is the mayor good? And the person said, the mayor's good. Like it was a weird reaction. It wasn't like, our mayor's wonderful. It was like, our mayor's wonderful.
Yeah.
He's really good.
They're in fear.
He's the best mayor. Like, That was
They
weird.
have no clue how to react to a simple question.
No,
They don't want to
but
say
it's
the wrong
also
thing.
fear. But it was
It's
also
fear, yeah.
against the mayor. And so Detective Haber came to the scene and he asked, what's going on? He said, I'm just recording my interactions with the public servants here as I'm learning about your amazing city and touring the beautiful city hall. And he instantly said, ow, you have a First Amendment right to do that. He was the friendliest, not just professional, he was friendly and human. And he said, you have a right to do this. And then full court, he then said to the women at the front that he has a right to record. He just can't go into restrooms, right, of course, and private offices. And then the woman at the front, she says, oh, but he won't give us his ID. He says, you don't have to doesn't have to give your ID. He has a First Amendment right to be here.
Yeah.
And so then he said to the woman, very professionally, politely, and respectfully, he said, please spread the word. He has a right to be here. I can't keep coming up here. And that was the end, as far as I knew. And I celebrated him. I acknowledged him. And some people say you shouldn't acknowledge police for doing the right thing. Of course you should. Everyone's a human being. And if you want people to do the right thing even more often, you would acknowledge and celebrate them for it.
I mean, that's what we're asking of them, right? That's what we're asking of them. That's the change we're trying to create. And if they're doing it correctly, you should acknowledge that.
Right. Absolutely. And I believe in building bridges with good police officers. And I got to tell you, because there are many watching this right now, the proof's in the pudding. It's one thing to say we got an exceptional department. We're not going to violate your rights. Well, guess what? In 3 months, the police officers of Union City were directly told to violate my rights, including at least 2 or 3 times by Brian Stack directly, and they did not. They chose to follow the Constitution and follow the law. So every single action I've had with a police officer has been not just professional. They have literally gone out on a limb to support my rights because they are following the law. They are not following the ego of Mayor Brian Stack. And that even happened yesterday when Mayor Stack said directly to Chief Ficini, the chief of police, get him out of here, Chief, get him out of here, Chief.
And he's angry about it. He's angry that they're not listening. He's furious. He's throwing tantrums. He's like a wild animal, rabid dog foaming at the mouth, literally.
Right, and you were there. You and full court press witnessed what was going on yesterday in this mob. And we're going to go into more detail of what happened because it's crazy. We're going to show some of the video from full court press's video today as well. But literally, the chief was foaming at the mouth because Chief Ficini defied a direct order, even though it's not a lawful order, because Mayor Stack told Chief Ficini to remove me from a public building. And Chief Ficini, in that moment, did the right thing. He did a lot of not right things later on. And I'm putting complaint charges against him big time. But he did the right thing. And then a sergeant was screamed at by Mayor Stack yesterday. Lock him up. I was told someone said, lock him up. And the sergeant, again, refused because every single police officer in Union City has done the right thing. So they're exemplary. My interaction, my experience with them, they're exemplary. And when all this is said and done, I want them to be shown as an example to other police departments throughout the country. Because proof's in the pudding.
I got to ask, Leroy, is there something, let's just say, more beneath the surface? Is there something more going on in Union City? And I ask this because we see this every day. And what we see every day are police departments that they just dig in deeper. They dig their heels in deeper when somebody comes along and challenges them.
Right.
And in this particular situation, I mean, it is just like this weird vortex in Union City where the police now are doing the opposite of what we would typically expect to happen. Is there something more going on there than just, hey, we're going to protect and we're going to actually uphold and defend the Constitution? And, that oath that we took, we actually mean it. What do you think? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
That's a good question. And I want to introduce everyone to Liberty Warrior, and since there's no face except the Viking. And he is my executive producer. He is also my video editor. And he used to be in the broadcast world himself. And I think he even got an Emmy or something. But he...
Yeah, that and $8 will get me a cup of coffee at Starbucks.
but he
It's still
wouldn't
a nice
do it anymore.
accomplishment.
He wouldn't do it anymore. He wouldn't be a repeater. He wanted to be, you know, a real journalist, not a repeater. And so that's a very good question. And I'm interested. Put it in the chat, everybody. What do you think? Like, what do you think is going on? Why is Union City so remarkably different than so many police departments throughout the country? And I got to tell you, Weehawken, I've had interactions with them. They've been stellar. I've had interactions with police in North Bergen. They've been exceptional. I've had interactions with police in West New York, and they have been exceptional. And to ask what's going on, a couple of things. They seem to have some very good police officers, and they have a mayor who I understand doesn't support them. I understand there's even some contract negotiations that are going on now that the mayor ain't doing a good job with. And when they see clearly, but it's not just it. That's relatively recent. But when they see the writing on the wall, when you see a mayor who is so allegedly corrupt, ruining people's lives for over 23 years, they don't support that. They think for themselves. And bottom line is when the mayor loses the support of the police, the mayor's done. Just a matter of time. And so much more to come with that. So I want to show some of the latest craziness in the video, because I have been assaulted at least 8 times in the last 3 months, physically assaulted. I have had numerous threats on my life, death threats, including an increase yesterday. I have had private investigators follow me around. I've had probably at least 5 private investigators digging into my life and my past to try to dig up dirt, and there really isn't any. And the list goes on and on. Why is Brian Stack doing all these things? Innocent man would not be trying to stop me. He'd be welcoming in me with open arms. Oh, I don't mean that literally, Brian, but open arms metaphorically, taking me to expensive steak and lobster dinners and say, hey, what do you want to know? I'm going to open the books up for you. But he ain't doing that. Instead, he's conspiring with 2 other mayors. That's a big crime. Conspiracy against a journalist. That's FBI stuff right there. So
now it seems like the chat kind of overwhelmingly thinks that that they're putting on a show for the camera. That's what the police are doing. They're putting on a show for the camera. I personally have to wonder if there's maybe, because again, one of the things we talk about, in this kind of activist world is the unions. And I kind of wonder if, is there something going on maybe below the surface union wise, maybe a contract or something? I don't know, but it just seems very weird. And again, it just so goes against the grain of what we're used to seeing every day, but I will say this. I do believe, and I would be willing to put a bet on it if we were going to, put like a pool together. I think that eventually Brian Stack will be scapegoated. I think that he will be thrown under the bus because he's shown himself too much. He's shown that he has no stability, that he cannot keep his cool under fire. And I think that his handlers, they're going to throw him under the bus. It's probably coming sooner than later.
I think he's giving them no choice, as a matter of fact. I think he's giving them no choice but to throw him under the bus. Him and everybody else.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. And before we continue, and then I want to bring you more on its full court. I've had numerous actions with police officers, and I'm not going to use any of their names because they get heat. If I celebrate any of them, they get heat. So I'm not going to put any of them in the public eye, but I could tell you I have gotten to know numerous Union City police officers, and it has nothing to do with the camera. It has nothing to do with contracts. They're just doing the right thing. So, and I acknowledge that.
Some of the training that they've had from Captain Raposo, in addition to that.
Right, and in addition to their foundation, Captain Raposo of North Bergen, he did an exceptional training that I published that video. It's the world's first First Amendment training that a police officer did. So make sure to check that video out. And if any of the mods can put a link to that video, put that in the chat. And it is exceptional. The training is exceptional. And the comments in the video are like 99% supportive. Some people were saying, well, he's just doing this for the cameras. It was an internal training that I thought was open. Turns out it was a closed training, and he he didn't try to get me to leave. In fact, the chief wanted me to leave, Chief Ficini. He said, this is the First Amendment training, let him stay. And George Raposo did an excellent job. He wasn't doing it for the cameras. He didn't know I was coming. Internal. Right. And by the way, he does those trainings for free. So make sure to check that out. We may play even a little snippet here. Kingpin said, excellent video. And for those who say all cops are bad, I don't agree. And my philosophy is I am building bridges. And I know full court press is the same. And there's a lot wrong with police culture nationally, but I want to build bridges with police who do the right thing. And that's what I've seen for 3 months now. And by the way, Jose Garrida, who is a whistleblower, he works in Union City for the Department of Public Works. He was the first from Union City to come on my show to speak directly about direct voter intimidation that Brian Stack, Mayor Brian Stack, and Senator did to him. He found out Jose didn't vote. And guess what? Calls Jose. Hi, Jose. You didn't vote. And how do you know I didn't vote? I just know things. And intimidated him to vote.
Good impression. It's a very good impression of him.
Yeah. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. This is my new Brian Stack impression. Lock him up. Lock him up. If you don't handle it, I'll handle it. I got to go to my voodoo doctor now.
I wonder how.
By the way, Mayor Stack has gone allegedly to voodoo doctors to attempt to stop me. I'm not making this stuff up. I know people who know some of these voodoo doctors, and nothing against. And it's a religion. So I'm not saying anything about it. But the fact a sitting mayor and a sitting senator and the head of the Judiciary Committee is seeking out voodoo doctors to stop.
He may need a new doctor, Leroy. He may need a new one.
He needs a new kind of doctor. And I also heard allegedly that his girlfriend, Mercedes Joaquin, allegedly sacrificed 13 chickens in the basement of City Hall, allegedly, to attempt to keep Brian in power. It's crazy. So
and then they went around Union City door to door giving those chickens away. Because I did find a video where MERCADO was talking about literally when you talk about buying votes. That's exactly what he was talking about. How they go to door, giving away chickens and turkeys and God knows
where they come from. Maybe they're sacrificing all. They got like 30,000 sacrifices in the basement for Brian to stay in power.
He likes to handle that himself too.
Well, and these people seem to forget that, where are these chickens or whatever they're giving away, whatever it may be, where's the stuff coming from? Okay, this stuff doesn't just show up for free. Brian Stack's not paying for it out of his own pocket.
No, I'll tell you where people told me it's coming from.
Taxpayers' pocket. The taxpayers.
No, not coming from taxpayers. It's allegedly Liberty Warrior. Allegedly, it's coming from extortion. Allegedly from business owners there. And
of course it is.
And you got to give money to Brian, and otherwise, hey, suddenly there's all these building inspectors saying you got code violations, health violations. Oh, you're 1 inch over the property line. I have gotten Liberty and full court. I've gotten over 700 allegations of pay to play of Mayor Stack, intimidation, retaliation, extortion. The list goes on.
We know I live here, so we know these things are happening, and it's like the best kept open secret, right? Like everybody knows about it, but it just continues to happen. Like, nobody's exposing it until now.
Where we are, I am now, and then you are as well. So, what we're going to do? Let's bring everyone up to speed with yesterday. So I'm going to start it off, and then I want you to add some color, and then we're going to just start playing some of the videos here.
Sure.
So number one, I was told yesterday by over 24 people. Leroy, if you go to observe the Mayor Stack event, which he has all these volunteers that many of them are mindless, some of them are pressured to do it. I'm not faulting all of them. But they had 150 people that volunteer to give out flyers. And I was warned by, it's much like a cult. It's like Jim Jones cult, Charles Manson cult. And they said, listen, if you go there, that the three mayors, Mayor Stack, Mayor Turner, Weehawken, and Mayor Siri of West New York, have colluded and conspired against you, and there are going to be physical attacks on you, and you're going to have people faking injuries. They're going to try to get close enough to you, some interaction where they could fake an injury so that Brian Stack can finally have you arrested. And that's exactly what happened. Fake injuries, except the idiots, we got cameras everywhere. so give us your initial experience, and then we're going to roll some video. Then we'll give some color on the video.
I mean, yeah. When they started flopping like LeBron, it was pretty obvious that when the guy bumped into you and then was complaining about his ankle, I don't know how his ankle got affected by anything, but from what I understand is the ambulance came and got him and drove him around the block, and then he walked back to the police station.
Right. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen, because this was all a conspiracy, not a conspiracy theory, a conspiracy. And Brian Stack and Mayor Turner, Mayor Series, I know what you're doing because you have more leaks than 15 Titanics, all of your places there. And good people are reaching out to me. And I hold their information confidentially, sacredly confidential. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this work. And they told me exactly the strategy that you were going to be doing. Violence, agitation against me, and people are going to drop. And 2 ambulances were called. 2 people, so-called, went to the hospital. The first guy, literally, they drove him around the block. He got out of the ambulance. And then he says to someone, full court, no, I don't need a doctor. I already have a doctor's appointment on Monday. Gotcha. He's going to use a pre-existing condition to attempt to say, Leroy Truth did this. When he's the one who bumped into me, falls into the hood of a car, actually spills coffee all over me.
Apparently,
I got to see him to get a new shirt.
Apparently, a pebble grazed his toenail, so it caused him serious injury. And when that happened, right, when something grazed his little toenail or his fingernail or something insignificant happened, 10 to 15 people simultaneously shouted, "He assaulted him! Lock him up!" I mean, if that doesn't cry out a pre-planned strategy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I heard that there was an acorn
mentality in effect. I don't know.
I heard there was an acorn fell, something like that.
Yes.
Right. But if an acorn falls and if there's no corrupt politician to hear it, did it really happen?
Exactly.
Good question.
So here's the thing. Then I, at one point, get assaulted, and we're going to show you, we're going to do a play-to-play, by a mob, a riot of, I think, 7 people, led by another city commissioner named Wendy Grullon, who gets the worst actress award of the year for flopping down, screaming, like, ah! When she was pushing me out along with 6 other people of the building, she flops down. She then crying, and then she stops, looks around to see if there's any cameras on her, and then sees a camera on her and starts crying again. And then lays down like she's dead. And I didn't touch her.
She didn't move.
They were literally pushing me out. Like there were 6 or 7 people pushing me out. And so let's start watching some of this video here. So I'm going to add it here. We'll skip around. It's a 1-hour video. And what were you going to say, Liberty?
I said, I'm jealous. You guys have all the fun.
Well, that's what Brian said. And this is different, Brian. Brian, here's the deal, called me about an hour ago. And he was like, Leroy, your life is like a movie. Why can't I have all that fun? I said, Brian, come on out. And because we have the dumbest mayor in America and allegedly the most corrupt mayor, Mayor Brian Stack. And so let's watch some of this video here. And this is on Full Court Press's channel. And you already got like, what, 18,000 views or something?
It's about in that vicinity.
Yeah. And so get his take on it. I'm going to be releasing mine Tuesday and my version of it. And his is awesome. So we're going to watch his today. And we'll skip around because it's an hour long. And that way you can watch the whole thing after this. And make sure to join and subscribe to Full Court Press. We've become very good friends. He's got my back. He's there when he says he's going to be there. And he got some really valuable footage yesterday.
You always talking about assaulting women. Here you are assaulting them.
Here, to give context, I was just pushed out of the building by a mob of people who went hands-on, pushed me, and as I'm pushed and I fall down, one of the city commissioners, Wendy Grullon, does something worse than Meryl Streep would ever do, and fake falls, and they're claiming I hit her, and she's saying I hit her. But I never touched her, and this is how he starts to
Get away from me! You're harassing me.
I'm on a public forum.
Oh, Mayor Stacks accused me of harassing him because I'm just standing on a public sidewalk. Coward.
Apparently, your existence is harassment.
What's that?
Your mere existence is harassment in his
Right,
opinion.
because he's afraid. Because he's a coward, he's afraid of me, and he is deeply afraid of me. I heard he's in therapy like full time. He's also wearing a heart monitor 24/7. Allegedly, someone told me because his heart is not doing too well from all the stress.
Get away from me! You're harassing me.
I'm on a public sidewalk, buddy.
I never came inside.
I am assaulted by all of you. You always talking about assaulting women. Here you are assaulting them. No.
Nah, he didn't assault anybody.
They're blaming me. They're accusing me of assaulting this woman. They assaulted me. Literally, 6 or 7 people rushed at me, hands on, pushing me out of the door until I fell.
Doors were open.
Cross the street for now.
I'm not crossing anything.
You are, because now you're disrespecting me.
So this is the town hall here.
It's Union City Town Hall right there. Really beautiful place. And they're having a rally to give out flyers. And ironically, the flyers, because Mayor Stack pays over $1 million to get these flyers printed, and all kinds of campaign stuff. People hate it, and he has all these volunteers that are like almost like a worshiping cult of him. And these flyers, ironically, full court, were looking for more police officers in Union City. See, he doesn't like the ones he's got because they support the Constitution. So he wants to get new ones who will violate the Constitution.
How many people of voting age are there in Union City?
I'm not sure. There's almost 70,000 people in Union City, but obviously not that many vote.
So who's he making all these flyers for?
He makes them for everybody. Everyone gets them. They're filling up mailboxes. They're littered everywhere.
Everyone
and
except us.
For decades.
Everyone except us, Leroy.
But he wouldn't give you a flyer.
Except, and by the way, Liberty and full court, you made a very good point. No one would give us a flyer yesterday. So I went into the public building, and when I knew Mayor Stack was there, I said, okay, I want to go in because I want to ask him, why is he not protecting the 3 women who have accused a fellow city worker of sexual assault, and the mayor has done nothing to protect these women. And he hasn't suspended the alleged sexual assaulter. And the women have been getting retaliated against since they went to the police. So I wanted to ask them about that and get flyers. And the mob comes at me simply because I went into this public building, and Mayor Stack gives an unlawful order to have the chief remove me. Well, he doesn't, but the mob attempts to do that.
I see a bunch of people gathered across the street at Union City First. Some recognizable faces.
And that's Union City First. That's where all the craziness happened.
Morning.
Morning. So here are, and I have a really weird outfit on because I was freaking cold. I got a balaclava on my head. I got my regular trench coat, and I have a super winter jacket with one of those emergency aluminum blankets inside the jacket. So my wardrobe is it's the worst in the world. But I was warm.
You absolutely were not trying to hide from anyone. That's for sure.
No, exactly. We do this in the open. Mayor Stack hides and runs away from me. Full court and us, we're there doing our job as independent journalists.
Brainwashed. Here are the brainwashed people right here. And some of them aren't brainwashed, but they've been doing it for fear of retaliation. You want a better job? Hand out flyers. Want to not get fired? Hand out flyers. Want to not have your business shut down with erroneous and made up violations from building inspectors or health inspectors? Hand out flyers. And the overlord, Darth Vader of mayors of the United States of America, Mayor Stack is not here yet. He will be making an appearance to great cheers and fanfare.
I wonder if he's looking out the window now.
Oh, he is. So what he does, and he literally, by the way, he literally is looking out of the window in his office. He's on the 2nd floor. And actually, I'm sorry, he's on the 3rd floor. And he literally looks out at the office. And if there aren't enough people there for him, he gets on the horn and he doesn't ask these people. He tells them, you got to go, you got to go, you got to go. And he gives most of these people jobs. Many are low-paying jobs, and they'll do anything because, you know, they're hardworking people. They don't want to lose a job, so they're literally being extorted and pressured to do these things.
He looks out the window to see how many people are here. People have already been calling him. And he looks out the window to see how many people are here. If there aren't enough, he gets on the horn, calls more people.
I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. And if you want to add anything, full court anytime too here.
Think about good things about Mayor Sacco, I got to tell you.
Oh, here we go. Now, what happens here, full court? Set this up.
This is this when the lieutenant?
Yep, Lieutenant De Rojas.
Right. He's had allegations of sexual assault made against him that you've been exposing, and he comes by he starts in making insinuations and calling out the mayor of North Bergen, actually.
Yep.
And then yeah, that was bizarre. He's saying we're getting paid by the mayor of North Bergen.
Yep. And what you're going to hear, I just stepped aside to get a complaint. Someone anonymously sent me this complaint that a female radio dispatcher did to the chief and to Stack on then Sergeant De Rojas, because Sergeant De Rojas is allegedly a sexual predator, and Mayor Stack has a history of protecting sexual predators and promoting them. Because guess what? Sergeant Rojas was accused of extreme sexual assault. When I'm going to read what this woman wrote. Someone sent this to me anonymously a few days ago. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm gonna go over this in a future video. It is extreme, and if you have kids around, I would not have them listening to this. Now, I'm talking about the guy who you're gonna see in just a minute on camera. He's still working here 10 years later after this complaint. This is to the chief of police at the time, and it says Mayor Stack received it. He knew about this. Dear sir, this is from a female police dispatcher who was pressured, hugely pressured into giving oral sex allegedly to then Sergeant De Rojas, now Lieutenant De Rojas. Sexual assault pays off in Brian Stack's Union City. Dear sir, I hereby make this formal complaint of sexual harassment and retaliation and ask that an immediate investigation and appropriate response action occurs. Spoiler alert, Lieutenant Rojas is now a lieutenant. From March 2009 to the end of June 2009, I was sexually harassed by Sergeant Sergio De Rojas, as you, sir, know. During this time period, he constantly called me, was in my work area constantly, asked me to come with him to get keys, called me sweetie and honey and other names, came to my house, propositioned me at work, and asked me to go to dinner, offered me rides home, told me that he would make work better for me if I had sex with him, asked me to give him oral sex, asked me to go out with him, offered me money, grabbed his crotch in front of me, and said, look what you're missing, accused me of giving other guys oral sex, and said, why not me? He grabbed my derriere, he pulled my arms, he grabbed my face, etc. That's just a fraction of this complaint. You think if this is true, and from everything I heard, this is true. I'm still saying it's an allegation. I'm not saying it is true. It sounds true. Just with that, does it sound like this guy should be behind bars for life and not still working 10 years later, almost 10 years later, as one of Brian Stack's favorite lieutenants? Insane.
Well, yeah,
This
but
is
isn't that the way of the world now? I mean, it's the more disgusting and vile you are, the more you climb the ranks.
Right, but especially in Union City. This is a whole nother level here.
I think
So
that's what gives you power. I think that's what gives you power, knowing where the skeletons are buried, right?
Exactly.
I agree 100%, because when you are involved and you've got, let's just say, when you have got that kind of, that kind of a set of balls on you that you'll do that right out in the open, that you don't really care, then you're not the only one doing it. You're part of it, a larger group of people. And basically, you've all now got dirt on each other.
Right.
And that's really what it comes down to is, a bunch of people that all have dirt on each other, and they all kind of take care of each other because they have to.
It's almost like a secret society.
You're right. You're right on. And this is just one complaint of many women who have been sexually assaulted, allegedly sexually assaulted. There's been settlements all over the place. They paid out so much money. That's how they do it. Woman gets sexually assaulted. She gets harassed, retaliated against. and either fired, paid off, they leave, and then they promote the guy who sexually assaulted them. And continuing, these are just some of the things. During all of the times that Sergeant De Rojas did these things to me, I told him to stop, and I told him to cut it out. I told him that he was being inappropriate. I told him that he was a sergeant and he would be fired for these things. Not in Brian Stack's place. I asked him, what kind of woman do you think I am? I told him to leave me alone. I told him no over and over and over and over and over again. I begged him to please stop and leave me alone. I told him that I would report him, and I told him I was tired of his BS. I told him that he is a supervisor and he would lose his job. He just would not stop. He kept asking me repeatedly to give him oral sex. He kept saying that he would help me in the job if I gave in to him. I kept telling him I took nothing from him. I accepted nothing from him. This is a sergeant who was in uniform and is a supervisor who is doing most of these things during working hours in the workplace. And Mayor Stack, Chief Ficini, you hate that I have this. It's for real. Check this out. This is real. Look at this. See if it focuses here. It's for real. And guess what? Mayor Stack's signature is in the back of this. Mayor Stack received it. 8/4/2010. Yeah, he promoted this guy. He's going to read a little bit more of this. Because of Sergeant De Rojas in April 2009, I made a request to the chief of police to be transferred. I wanted to get away from Sergeant De Rojas. It was rejected. I got to find out who the police chief was. If anyone knows, put it in the chat or text me. Who was that police chief who rejected her request to get away from a sexual assaulter?
Now,
I was terrified of losing. What's that?
The police chief prior to this one, wasn't that a woman?
It may have been one before that. And
I believe,
can't read
because
the
according to their website, I think the police chief prior to the current one was actually a woman.
Yeah, there was a woman, but again, this was back in 2008, 2010. I don't know who was police chief there. And my guess is it wasn't her. I was terrified of losing my job because I was telling Sergeant De Rojas to stop, but I did not want to do what he was demanding. I was very afraid that the police department would not support me, and that because it is a boys' club, I would be retaliated if I made a complaint. And this is from the Stack Haps up above. These actions have caused me so much emotional pain. On June 19th, 2008, around 5 p.m., Sergeant De Rojas came up to me at work at the 27th Precinct. He said, "Today's the day." I was in terror. He was in full uniform, and he was my supervisor. He told me, "Today's the day you are going to blow me." He pulled down his pants and pulled over a chair. I told him no. I said, "Listen, man, I don't want to do it." He kept telling me to do it. I told him no. "We are working. Please let me go." He kept saying, "I want it. I need it. You're not nice to me. Please." I'm taking the name out for the person, and the person said it there. Over and over and over and over and over again, I said no. Finally, I snapped. I told him, "Fine. This is the last time you talk to me. This is the last time you ask me to do anything with you." I did it. I was and am disgusted that I was put in this situation. I am disgusted with what happened. It is so embarrassing. I think of it as rape. He came all over the chair. He then walked away like nothing happened. The next day, Sergeant De Rojas came up to me and called me a sweetie and acted like nothing happened. I couldn't believe it. There it was. I told him that I was going to report him and go to internal affairs. He just acted like he didn't care. I was so upset. I told him, "I am going to report you to the chief." He didn't care. Why did he not care? He knew Brian Stack would have his back. It's like he knew that nothing would happen. I was crying and angry and kept telling him I was going to report him. "I know he is very close with you, sir." Sir, this wasn't a female sergeant. I mean, a female chief and Mayor Stack. But this was it. I went forward and made my complaint. And guess what happened? There's a lot more. I'm not going to read any more. Save that for another video. You know what happened? Nothing. She said to the chief, "You need to take this chair," which he had semen all over. His semen was all over it. She wanted it DNA tested to prove it was him. And guess what happened to that chair, ladies and gentlemen? They threw it out in a dumpster. Inside sources told me they saw They threw it out in a dumpster. Allegedly, Brian Stack and the chief, allegedly, to cover up for this alleged rapist. Does that not disgust you? And someone just asked me, what happened to Sergeant DeRojas? You're going to see him in about 5 seconds. He was promoted to lieutenant, and he is one of Brian Stack's closest confidants in police, and he has him doing all kinds of special duty, making extra money. He's about to retire. He needs to lose his pension. He needs to go to prison if these allegations are true. Here he is.
I mean, that is just sociopathic behavior.
Absolutely disgusting, as that Jersey guy says. And that's why Mayor Stack must go, because 3 women came forward, and the first came forward to me personally, pleading with me to help her to stop the sexual assault, the alleged sexual assaults that were happening by one Raval Janau in the Department of Parks in Union City. And I've been supporting those women as a survivor of sexual assault and abuse myself, as I was sexually assaulted and abused by a Catholic priest for 4 years when I was an altar boy since I was 7. So I came forward to help them, and no one cares. Mayor Stack has refused to suspend the alleged assaulter. Esther Suarez has done nothing. She's the Hudson County Prosecutor. Allegedly, she was a mistress of Brian Stack. Used to work for Brian Stack. He appointed her. The corruption is deep, and women are not protected. Women are in danger as long as Brian Stack is there. I went to Brian Stack's office this past Friday. You haven't seen this video yet. I knocked on his window to a hallway that is now locked since I started investigating, asking him to come out and meet with me on International Women's Day, which was just this past Friday. Meet with me, and I want you to immediately suspend that alleged assaulter, sexual assaulter, until the outcome of the investigation so these women are protected. He wouldn't come out. He hid under his desk, someone told me. Disgusting. Here, want to meet Lieutenant Rojas? Here he is.
It's that guy who just walked away.
What's up, my brother? How are you? Good morning.
Hey, Charles. That guy who came at me, the one who walked across the street there at that other meeting. There he is. Oh yeah, look at this. The Rojas.
I just said the alleged sexual assaulter. By the way, you could say that, full court. I said it 50 times in my last video, and it got monetized.
Yeah, I didn't want to take any chances, so
Yeah.
There. Look, that's the alleged sexual. The Rojas. He was a sergeant, now he's a lieutenant.
Yeah, how you doing?
You believe that?
He's got a lot of money, man. Wow, bald-headed dude.
That's him. Take a look at a sexual predator, alleged sexual predator right there. Lieutenant De Rojas.
The Rojas. He was a sergeant, now he's a lieutenant.
Yeah, how you doing?
You believe that?
He's got a lot of money, man. Wow.
There you go. Alleged sexual predator. You have a right to register government and demand he be fired, that he lose his pension, that he go to prison as long as the statute of limitations is not up, and I hope that's not.
Bald-headed dude.
He's calling you out, Sacco.
I am bald-headed today. I am.
Good job.
Hey, stop telling like a bald-headed guy. This is the bald-headed guy. Hey, I love my bald head.
me too.
I love full court press's bald head.
I am with a beautiful balaclava.
So that's an official statement. He's calling out Mayor Sacco from North Bergen for some
Can
reason.
you believe? I've heard nothing but good things about Mayor Sacco. I got to tell you that. So De Rojas, he is saying, first called me a bald-headed guy, and hey, I'm proud to be a bald-headed guy, man. And then he's claiming something about Mayor Sacco.
So that's a lieutenant with the Union City Police Department. For some reason, he's calling out Mayor Sacco of North Bergen. Not really sure why, but that's actually an official statement. Mayor Sacco, I posed the question to you. What do you have to say about those insinuations?
Now, in a minute, remember everyone that the 3 mayors came together and they had a strategy and they gave instructions to a number of their volunteers to attempt to agitate me, to attempt to fake an injury so that I can get arrested. And there's a special action and a code that occurs by none other than Chief Piece of Crap Ficini. He's going to go hands-on my tripod in just a couple minutes. That is a crime. And then he laughs about it. Watch this. And that was the code for everyone. Okay, operation, let's try to get Leroy Truth arrested and fake injury right then and there. Coming up.
We'll take some interviews.
That was.
By the way, you see Charles Pratt there? That's Charles Pratt, the gentleman in the red hat. Very, very, very nice man. And he alleged that a lieutenant attempted to rape him a number of years ago, and Brian Stack allegedly covered it all up. And he's trying to still get justice. And he went to a meeting just like I did, and Brian swore to him, oh, I'm going to look into it. After that meeting was done, cameras were off, people are gone, disappeared. Sexual assault seems to be alive and well, allegedly, in Mayor Stack's Union City.
When you think about it, when you just apply the basic tenets of statistics, with this handful of women that have come forward, what do they represent statistically? You know, there's more out there.
Yes, the law of average.
Exactly.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm sure that it's a fish stinks from the head down. So it's got to be the way things are in this department, but statistically, these three women cannot be all there is. There's a lot of other people out there that are afraid.
Listen to this. You're absolutely right. But listen to this. Full court, you know this already. Ladies and gentlemen, this will shock you. Perhaps it won't. A few years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, Raul Janal, the alleged sexual predator who has allegedly assaulted these women, happens to be the brother of the president of the Board of Education and very good friend of Mayor Brian Stack.
Right.
Allegedly, 2 years ago, he used to work in City Hall. Allegedly, he sexually assaulted two women there. One of the women filed charges. He allegedly fled to the Dominican Republic for 6 months. He came back. Allegedly, Mayor Brian Stack got him a lawyer. Charges went away. No charges. There was probably a payout. Did Mayor Stack fire Raul Janal? He did just like the Catholic Church does with pedophile priests. He moved Raul Janal allegedly to the Parks Department, of which now he had access to scores of women. And I know 3 have come forward publicly. There's 2 more I know of who haven't come forward yet, 1 woman and 1 man. There's probably dozens of them. Yet Mayor Stack has let that guy still work, and the supervisor of these women found out their names and started retaliating against them. Her name is Alicia Morillon, and she's a very good friend of Mayor Stack, and allegedly used to date Senator Menendez in the 80s. You didn't know that, full court. Allegedly, she used to date Senator Menendez, Bob Goldbar Menendez, in the 80s. And she has been retaliating against these women, pressuring them to drop the charges, defending Raul, the alleged sexual assaulter, and Mayor Stack did nothing, just like he always does.
She's one of his enforcers, Alicia. And Angry Bear was asking, who's the enforcer? He has so many enforcers. He has a bunch in his circle that are enforcing different things for him in different places. They're putting pressure on people, keeping them afraid, threatening them, their jobs, their livelihood, their reputations.
Yep, absolutely. And I see Marco in the chat said she probably has a gold bar too, probably more than that as well. And the thing is, this is the history, Mayor Stack's history. These allegations aren't new. But he has been completely silent. I'm the only one advocating for these women. Now, I got to tell you again, as far as the police, when these women came forward, and I was there because the first woman who came forward, she wanted me to be there during the entire process. And she was very trusting of me, and she knows I'm a sexual assault survivor as well. And I heard everything that she alleged that this person allegedly did to her. And the initial intake was done by, it turned out, Detective Haber, the very first officer who protected my rights. And he was incredibly professional and sensitive to her. And I've been told every police officer who has talked to those women did the utmost professional support for them. Again, that's extremely traumatizing for each of those women. So it's another proof in the pudding. And that says a lot. But Mayor Stack did the opposite. Refused to protect these women, knew they were being retaliated against, knew these women were being forced to work with the sexual alleged sexual assaulter as well. Crazy.
That was crazy. What an idiot that he's showing his face up to this stuff. And I read some of the complaint against him that he allegedly sexually assaulted a radio dispatcher, and allegedly DNA from his semen was on a chair. The radio dispatcher wanted the chair to be tested for DNA, and guess what? That chair shows up in the dump. Very.
Oh, by the way, Full Court Press looked it up. That chief that allegedly was in collusion with Brian Stack, allegedly, that got rid of the chair with the semen, was Charles Everett, 2010. Thank you, Full Court.
Quickly.
That's his picture. Yep.
Destroyed. Gone. And Sergeant Rojas at the time is now Lieutenant Rojas, because apparently Brian Stack loves to reward
Alleged sexual assaulters.
Okay, here's on.
And by the way, there's no way in hell this video is going to be monetized today. So if anyone would like to do a super chat or super thanks, please do so, and that would be awesome.
Andres Garces there.
Now here comes the chief. That's Chief Ficini, and I was assaulted and robbed about a month and a half ago. And Andres Garces, that guy in front, he took Justin MERCADO, the assaulter, out in front of the mayor and let the guy who assaulted me, one of Mayor's best friends, which he assaulted and robbed me right in front of the mayor, he let him leave the building before the police could arrive. So that's the guy who took Justin MERCADO out, and the chief is about to go hands-on my tripod. A crime. Here it comes. And this was the code for everyone else. It's time to put Operation Get Leroy Truth, get him arrested in play. Here it comes.
Hey, Chief Ficini, you have any statements?
Good morning, Andre.
About
Good morning,
the
Chief.
three allegations of. I need a statement. Why you run away from the camera? 3 women alleged in your city, and you are running away from the camera?
Well, I guess maybe that wasn't the time. I have some later. All right, I'm going to forward a little bit. Do you know where it is?
Good.
It's
Here we go. This is coming here. And I have an angle with a different camera that shows him actually grabbing my tripod. I'm not sure if you got it here.
And thinks you got away with it.
Here he goes. Here he comes. And he's going to go hands-on, try to rob me of my tripod and camera. But I had a good hold on my tripod, so he didn't get it.
Are you protecting the relationship? Hey, get off me! You knew you were going to do that. You knew I was going to do that when you assault me, you piece of crap.
Keep your hands to yourself. Keep your hands to
And look at how that guy who's laughing, that's the guy who assaulted and robbed me a month and a half ago.
They're all laughing. Yeah.
Yep, and I have criminal charges pending against him for assault and robbery. That's pending in the Hudson County courts.
yourself.
He literally grabbed my camera.
That's
And look at them. They're laughing because this was all part of a planned strategy. This is just the beginning.
harassment, Chief.
Take it from me, just like Justin MERCADO.
You don't know that that's harassment, Chief? You can't touch anybody.
Hey, guys.
Now I go see the chief running away now, and I want to talk with him to hold him accountable verbally for what he just did. And this guy in the blue, you see the guy in the blue sweatshirt with the hoodie, as I go to walk between him and a car, he subtly body checks me and then bounces off me, falls to the ground, claims his foot is profoundly injured, and that's when the first ambulance is called. You're going to see this. I'm going to go back like just a few seconds, and he literally went into me to bounce off of me. I was, not near him there.
Get off me! I knew you were going to do that. You knew I was going to do that when you assault me. You piece of.
We just see the chief do a crime on me. Went hands on, tried to grab and steal my camera. Thank you, Claudette. No means no. Absolutely.
Crap.
Keep your hands to yourself. Keep your hands to yourself.
He literally grabbed my camera.
That's harassment, Chief.
Take it from me, just like Justin MERCADO.
You don't know that that's harassment, Chief? You can't touch anybody.
Hey, guys. Hey.
Hey.
Now, full court is going to show this a number of times in slow motion. This guy moved into me as I'm attempting to walk toward the chief. And there's plenty of space there. He does this. He goes like this. And just enough to hit me, and then he bounces off of me. Now watch this. Full court's going to show it a number of times.
Hey, you have no.
Hey!
Hey!
Now he falls. Now he falls. He falls. Fake fall.
Hey, you have.
Hey, guys! Hey!
Hey! Hey, you have no.
No, hey!
Chief, that training didn't do very well.
And look, he's smiling. Now suddenly he's coming back. He was running away from me. Now he's coming back.
Hey, guys! Go!
See how the chief started that fire?
And he's suddenly limping. Where the hell did that come from? He bumps into me. Full court, explain this to us.
Well, I mean, you saw what I saw, right? All of a sudden now he's limping away, and the chief is the hero and the savior, coming to carry this critically injured citizen to safety. Yeah, it's bizarre.
Do you know what a crime that is? Conspiracy to also defraud the medical establishment with these fake injuries. He's limping. You all saw nothing. I did nothing. I'm walking, and he suddenly bumps into me. And suddenly he falls. His coffee spills all over the place. Some of his coffee spilled on me. It was hot freaking coffee too. And now he's suddenly limping. It is a conspiracy. Just a minute, Liberty. That's a conspiracy. Hold on, Liberty. Hold on. That's a conspiracy between mayor and the other two mayors, three mayors, and people, volunteers, and city commissioner and the chief. They're all part of this conspiracy to try to unlawfully arrest me. Go ahead, Liberty.
It could have been worse. He could have been rolling around on the ground going, I'm hit.
Yes.
The one thing, that it's just, I can't help it. I have to laugh at this. And I wonder if the people, that are watching, the people in the chat, when you look at this group of people that all are surrounding Stack a little further back in that video, does it not look like the same group of extras from every low rent mob movie out there?
Yeah, you're right. They were the rejects. They couldn't get the acting jobs because it's so freaking bad. So they ended up working for Brian Stack and doing the worst acting in the world. I'm injured.
This
Leroy
guy right here, he is definitely a little bit over dramatic.
Oh yeah.
Just a
I
little.
remember this guy gets driven in an ambulance for a block, and someone happened to catch him. Yeah, all part of the game. Goes around for a block, comes out.
Right. He drove around till he was out of sight.
Yeah.
The cameras, nobody could see him anymore. That was the act one. And then he walked right back around. That Jersey guy makes a really good point. We got to be careful, because if they're faking injuries, what else are they going to be willing to do? Plant something on us, right?
Yeah.
Who knows what the next strategy is going to be?
Absolutely.
I'm not sure these people are smart enough really to pull something that sophisticated off. Look at what we've seen so far. This is not, you're not playing with the brightest folks here.
Right.
These are not exactly chess players.
Oh, clearly not. The easiest thing to do would just be not do that.
This may be the guy. Someone just found this. This may be the guy.
Oh, yeah, that's him. That's him. For sure.
He's set to be the next safety coordinator. And so, okay, we got him. And by the way, he did file charges against me. He got to the police station before I was, because I was still recording. And so he filed charges against me, which are completely unfounded. A lie. It's called filing a false police report. That is also
there we
a
go again. A half a dozen cameras pointed at. Again, we're not dealing with the brightest bulbs on the tree here.
No, and remember, they're watching. Brian Stack is watching. Mayor Turner is watching. Mayor Sirius is watching. Chief Ficini Alfredo is watching. You know, all the stack hacks are watching. And yeah, you're really dumb. It's really fun to work with really dumb people when it comes to exposing government corruption. Because you're like historically dumb, especially you, Mayor Stack. Actually, you too, Mayor Turner. Because you're the one who strategy.
Whoever the ringleader is, whoever's coming up with these strategies needs
Mayor
a new
Turner.
playbook. Yeah, he needs a new playbook. These plays are not going to work. We have technology that actually works, and all these games that you're going to play is just going to work against you.
Yeah, well, you're talking directly to Mayor Turner. He's the one apparently allegedly coming up with these strategies. So
hey, how you
here's
doing,
the
nice
thing.
to meet you.
But here's the thing. You don't need any strategies. If you're not corrupt, there's nothing to hide. There's no strategies.
Right.
Just shut the bleep up and let me do my investigation without
recognize our
assaulting
rights.
me.
Recognize our rights. Respect us. It's that simple.
Exactly. It's super
Well,
simple.
you know, the one simple message that I have for Brian.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Go ahead.
Leroy and I, we go every day. We go through a ton of stuff. We talk about a ton of leads and stuff that come in. And Brian Stack, you don't know who you can and can't trust anymore. There are very few people in your inner circle that you can actually trust. You need to be thinking about that. Is they all want to put you under the bus and back it up.
Yeah.
Right. And by the way, I want to underline that. Liberty Warrior, that's a very good point. Mayor Stack, you have so many leaks. And we're talking, I've got some inner circle leaks. We're talking your most trusted people for decades.
No,
and I'm not going to name who they are, but they are leaking on you. They have secretly, and sometimes not secretly, hated your guts for decades. Your control of power, your dictatorial way of how you run Stackistan, also known as Union City.
Pakistan.
Continuing.
Keep your hands to yourself, Chief. I'm trying to complain.
It gets crazier. Stay with me, everyone. It gets even crazier now. The mob comes around, surrounds Full Court and I. And then someone named Felicia, I don't think you catch it in your video, but one of my cameras caught it. She kicked me from behind. Coward that she is.
Letitia.
Right, Letitia.
Yeah.
Come on. Keep your hands to yourself.
Oh, there's a alleged sexual assault of Lieutenant De Rojas right there. Why is he not in prison, anyone? Again, you have a right to redress the government. You can call the mayor's office. You can call the Hudson County District Attorney tonight or tomorrow. You can call the New Jersey State Attorney General. You can call the Attorney General of the United States. These women have got to be protected. There's 3 women who have come forward. They're scared to death. They're terrified because the mayor's not protecting them. This is active, ladies and gentlemen. This is not past. And they're afraid to go to work, afraid of retaliation, which they're being retaliated against.
Listen, you're all on camera, Lieutenant. You're all on camera. You're making yourself look like a fool. And the chief started that fire.
Stop right there. Stop. The chief started it all with his special code of grabbing my tripod and trying to steal my tripod and camera from me. That was the code to get everyone. Okay, let's go. Angry Vet, thank you so much. Gifted 10 memberships. Angry Vet, you're awesome. Thank you so much. And who was it? Someone asked me if I wished them a happy birthday. And who was it? If you see it, Liberty Warrior, put him on. I think it was something Oaks. And if you can find who they are.
Everybody inside. Everybody inside.
6 Oaks Farm. Happy birthday to you.
You grab my camera, you assaulted me.
Excuse me. Marco, relájate. Él fue el que te empujó con la cámara. Ya está.
The actor. Look how concerned the chief is now. He's not going to be concerned when 7 people and as a mob come at me. He watches them, but he's concerned for the fake injured guy here.
Right.
It's all collusion and conspiracy.
You're right, sir?
Llama a la ambulancia. Llama a la ambulancia.
Don't wish harm to anyone.
Marco, be careful.
Bad actor.
Tranquilo.
And I want to underline what Full Court Press said. We wish no harm to anyone, including Stack. I hope he lives a long, healthy life behind bars. Sing Sing Attica, I don't care which he chooses, but I want him and his family have a long, healthy life, that no one does anything to harm him or anyone, any of these people. This is all about peace and exposure of allegation of corruption and making sure the law takes its due course. That's it.
Definitely don't wish harm to anyone.
Look at the pain he's in. Nothing happened to him.
But there's always a fire starter. Ironically, it came from the chief himself.
What Justice MERCADO did.
And you all see it on camera. And he said, I knew you were going to do that after he goes to grab his camera. Like, the training is useless.
And this guy bumps into me.
He's referring to Captain Raposo's excellent training.
He was definitely in the drama club in high school.
Oh, man.
Yeah, well, he should have been. And by the way, Full Court is referring to the excellent First Amendment training that Captain George Raposo of North Bergen, again, the excellent Mayor Nick Sacco, he found him and did a great job. So again, many police officers, could have taught it themselves. I don't know why Brian Stack and Chief Ficini had to go to North Bergen, because he didn't have to do that.
Chief Ficini started to violence today.
I mean, look at he's on his back now.
We're mad at American citizens exercising their rights. The chief's foremost job is to protect our rights as well as.
And he's a bodyguard, by the way. That guy, his name is Andres Garcia. He took Justin MERCADO, the guy who attacked and robbed me. He's Brian Stack's, one of his personal drivers, and he has a made-up job. Apparently, he doesn't go to, allegedly, in the Board of Education, making $122,000 a year. Just made up.
I love how
title.
he walks up and pulls up the guy's pant leg. Let me take a picture of your leg. The bone sticking out.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody else's, but instead he violates it. And his response is, I knew you were going to do that. Sorry, Chief, that's unacceptable.
Amos is coming.
Unacceptable.
Absolutely.
911 first.
It just snowballs. They go from bad to worse. Like, they don't understand.
Unacceptable to push it to him. That's why.
It was unacceptable for him to grab
He
him.
bumped into me.
I saw that.
I want to.
Mentira, lie.
He assaulted me.
It's on camera, man.
Yo te digo, yo estaba ahí. Everybody.
And people were told to assault me. More's coming up. It gets crazy.
Keep in mind.
Let's get on the sidewalk.
No.
Ma'am, it's all on camera.
He pushed it to him.
I have it all on camera.
I am a witness.
Hey,
I am a witness.
she just hit me right here.
Now, that's Letitia. You can't see on his view. I have a view where she kicks me from behind. Piece of crap coward. The one in the colorful.
Sir, I'd appreciate it if you protected our rights, like your chief here.
And the chief assaulted me.
The only
Chief
people,
Ficini
can we please get on the
I got it on camera, you piece of crap.
Yeah.
You're done.
Now another woman is going to come and grab my tripod in a minute.
Put your resignation in now.
Stop. Be quiet.
And I'm telling the chief he's done. And he's done.
That's a complete lie.
Sir, I have everything on camera if you want to review the footage.
And you see, Full Court, can you share more about that? Elaborate. See how transparent we are and how you are being. Please elaborate more on what you just said.
I was telling him that I'm willing to show him the footage of what actually happened, right? So that he could get the full story. Because right now what's actually happened is the gentleman who's feigning injury is actually about to commit a crime, right? Filing a false police report.
Right.
That's actually an additional crime.
And guess what? He's being aided and abetted by the police chief, not these officers. They don't know. They're coming on scene. They're just dealing with what they're being told. But we are, and Full Court Press is attempting to say, we have the evidence. They have lies.
Right.
Cameras are evidence. He said,
right.
she said, camera.
Right. We have the cameras that have the actual evidence, and the other citizens standing around are saying, but we have our eyes. Our eyes are cameras. I think they actually say that.
Oh, yeah. This one guy, you're going to hear him say, my eyes are cameras. I say our cameras are cameras. It's coming up here.
Ya viene una ambulancia ahora, okay?
Hey, I have the evidence if you want to see it.
Okay, I'll look at it.
Yeah. It started with Chief Ficini assaulting Leroy.
I have a witness to it. I was talking with him.
Listen, everybody could be a witness. The camera is an objective witness that does not lie.
My eye is a camera.
Yeah, but the evidence is the camera.
Your eyes are a camera.
Sure.
Camera.
Yeah.
Sure, brother, sure. Listen, it's all love and respect. All love and respect.
Can we stand on the sidewalk, please? There's an ambulance coming. Okay.
Desbloquea
Everything is recorded. Don't stop.
You're crazy.
Chief Ficini grabbed his camera. He pulled back, and he said, "I knew you were going to do that." He went to walk away, and
this guy bumped
he bumped into him, and then started complaining like he did something to him.
Meaning that he bumped into him, meaning the guy in the blue, the faker here, bumped into
Correct.
me.
Right.
He assaulted me. Grabbed my camera.
The chief started the fight. I know it's a difficult position. Everything was being recorded on multiple cameras.
We're transparent because we did nothing wrong. So we want to show the facts as opposed to the fiction that the liars who allegedly are in conspiracy with Mayor Stack are doing. And the chief is a key conspiracy contributor right here. He's aiding and abetting a fake report, a false report.
Yeah.
We'll look at all that.
So I'm not sure how you're going to handle this, but I think if anyone's pressing charges, it should be Leroy against
I'm pressing charges
against the chief. No, absolutely not.
Can I get your ID?
No, absolutely not.
I need your information.
For what?
I want things to de-escalate first.
Sir, you
Okay, so let's go
you know as well as anybody else, you can't identify somebody short of arrest. That's the law.
Right now, this party's saying that he was pushed by him, so I need his information.
Is he under arrest?
No, but he was saying that he was pushed.
There you go. But I'm just telling you what the law is. You know, the short of an arrest, we don't have to identify. But nice try.
Look at all the left-on volunteers.
The only people being violent is your team, if you consider it that. I hope.
And another woman you just saw is about to go hands on my tripod.
I hope you're impartial and protect our rights as well as everybody else's.
I'm sorry.
And that's exactly what happened with this man. Same thing that happened with you. He tripped over his thing and bumped into him, and now is saying like he did something to him, which is inaccurate. The only one who did anything to anybody, what's your rank, sir? So I can address you. Officer is your chief. Tried to grab his camera, and I have it on camera. That's the only violation of the law that occurred here today, and it's all recorded.
We're gonna do a report.
Thank you for being common court. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Get off me! You
He just went hands on my tripod.
Keep your hands to yourself.
She just went after me. She just assaulted me.
All on Mayor Stack's behalf. His plan, his orders, allegedly.
Piece of crap.
Right now, this group of people is being disorderly.
It's okay. You think going hands on is okay?
That's disorderly and that's harassment.
Another charge.
The only people breaking the law here today are these people here.
I'm trying to render aid.
And none of them were arrested or cited yet, but they will be.
I do want to make note that one officer did the right thing, blowing his whistle and getting them back because they were the unruly.
Absolutely. Again, another example. He didn't do anything by any means aggressive toward us. There was a crowd that was after us, surrounding us, and already the first person went hands on my tripod, and the police officer again did the right thing to defuse it and to get them back. So again, acknowledge that officer.
We are peaceful, we are observing, and we are reporting. Hey, come down.
So we can have differences of opinion. We have to conduct ourselves within the bounds of the law. We're not obstructing anything.
Okay, so now I'm going to skip ahead to the second violence, which is against me. And when you see my version, which I will be publishing on Tuesday, you'll see inside the building, but still, full court got a really good version of this. And make sure to watch the full 1 hour, and later tonight, tomorrow, and we're going to do call-ins tonight. But first, I'm going to show absolute criminality of Brian Stack, Chief Ficini, the city commissioner Wendy Grullon, and at least 5 or 6 other people as they physically put their hands on me and physically push me out of a building. And then Commissioner Wendy Grullon, she lies, and she's telling everyone I punched her. Again, there's consequences, Wendy Grullon, Commissioner, for doing a false police report, and your job's over too. You're done. Might as well resign now.
This is just walk onto the side.
Here, I'm going to skip ahead. Let's see how far ahead.
Hey, where are you taking those?
On your video
I'm a
here.
citizen.
All right, okay, that's Wendy. That's right there. That's the woman who's going to be the next worst actress in the world. She's going to lead the charge to go hands-on when I go inside that building, which is a public building, to attempt to get flyers and attempt to ask Mayor Stack if he's going to protect those 3 women against the alleged sexual assaulter.
Right,
and
here we're
all she
asking
does is
for
smile.
flyers. We're
Yeah,
asking
go
for
ahead,
flyers
Court.
right now. She don't want to give it to us.
I couldn't understand you. Say it again.
We're asking for flyers right now. That's what we're doing, and she's
Right.
refusing to give us any flyers.
Thank you for clarifying. We're asking for flyers. No one will give us a flyer because Mayor Stack told him allegedly not to. So that's when I go into the place, which is a public building. There's no signs. They put a sign afterwards, oh, you got to be a Union City resident. But watch this. We're just asking for flyers because I want to know, why do these 150 people, what's the big deal? They're coming on this rainy, really cold day, and then to walk all over the city and give flyers, like every house, every apartment in the city.
What do you do?
I live here in Hudson County. I'm one of the mayor's
You're
constituents.
gonna get it in your house. We're gonna bring it to your house.
Okay.
Why won't you give it to him?
Sure.
All 3 of those
Taxpayers-
people are going to go hands-on in a minute. All 3 of those. That crew cut guy with the glasses.
Pay for these flyers?
Right, these are public flyers.
Ma'am, can I have a flyer? Thank you. No?
So she can get
Oh, and you didn't have the camera pointed toward her. It looked like she was going to give you one. It's like, psych.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't give it. It's a freaking flyer. They're giving it out to 70,000 other people. Why not us? Because Mayor Stack allegedly told them not to. Is that right from a public servant, full court?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
give you one. I thought you was going to.
This is great. This is great.
Would you give us a flyer?
Instead of having some.
That guy's a piece of crap right there. If anyone knows his name, we need his name. And that guy with the glasses, because he's one of the guy who assaults me.
He's at every commissioner's meeting.
Right, he's there at every single meeting, Board of Education. He's an inside guy.
Give him room.
There's plenty of room, sir.
Room, back up.
We're on public
There's plenty of room.
You have no authority.
Yeah, there's plenty of room.
These are just people. They have no authority, even if they were like public officials. They have no authority. We're on a public sidewalk.
And you can't see it from this angle, but there's a line of other people, volunteers, standing right next to us on both sides in the same line that we're in.
Right, absolutely. Continuing.
Blocking the sidewalk, brother.
Stay on the side.
You're the only one blocking the
You have
sidewalk.
no authority.
We have plenty.
I'm on the side like these people are on the side. These are the games that they play. Look,
And they're refusing to give the public flyers. Would you give us a flyer?
I'm as far back as the rest of the public here. Don't just do me a favor. Don't give me unlawful directives.
Yeah. You have as much right to give us a directive as Mother Teresa does.
Oh my God,
yes!
That's Charles Pratt, and he's such a good guy. Yeah. And he is the one who was allegedly sexually assaulted by a lieutenant, which allegedly Mayor Stack covered up to this day. I think it happened 10 years ago, and he's still trying to get justice.
Paid for by the public dollars that Mayor Stack
The only
increases.
classy gentleman I met so far is over there and there.
Oh, Mayor Stack has increased the.
Can I see the flyer?
Sure. Let's see what it says. What kind of propaganda do we have here?
Calling all Union City residents who are interested in becoming a Union City police officer.
See, he doesn't like the police officers he has now, full court, because they follow the Constitution, not his ego and his unlawful orders. So he wants to get ones he can personally groom. So he's a groomer in his own way.
He wants to start fresh.
Right.
Where the chief assaults members of the public for exercising their rights.
Wow. Right.
Right. None of the police officers do. It's only the chief.
Only the chief.
And he can't be the chief. He's part of a conspiracy here against me.
And if you
Oh, Good Guy Activism, welcome, welcome. If you're not subscribed to Good Guy Activism, subscribe to this channel. Him and I, it was his idea to go to Union City. It started this all off.
people blindly support that, I mean, Commissioner, really?
And she is the commissioner, I believe, of the Department of Public Works. And by the way, she gets that job because I think allegedly she gives lots of money to Stack's campaign. And allegedly she doesn't even show up to DPW. They've never seen her like for years. She just has this job, doesn't do a freaking thing, allegedly.
Her job is
She's
to
going
walk
to lead
around
the
and
charge
smile.
against me. Say that again?
Her job is to walk around and smile.
Yeah, and smile like an idiot.
Commissioner, what's your comment that the chief grabbed my tripod and try to take my camera from me? The chief, this is Chief Piccini.
I'm asking a very important question to the commissioner who will refuse. She's refusing to turn around and answer this question. This is a serious, serious situation that the chief created for himself and for her.
You're a commissioner. You need to address the public and all of my viewers. What's your last name again?
I forget.
Everybody say hi. Hi, my dear. Everybody go fuck yourself.
Nice.
Hey,
Freedom
God
of
bless you.
speech.
God bless you.
So he just told us to F ourselves. So what do we do? Do we swear to him? No. Full course charge, you know, it's all peace and love.
I'm not mad at that.
I've lived here 57 years. Go fuck yourself.
Shout out to you.
Yeah. I still say God bless you.
I support your freedom of speech.
First Amendment's alive and well around us.
I support your freedom of speech,
I'm
brother.
Chief Piccini.
I'm not mad at you. It's love and respect. Even if we disagree.
It's going to get crazy, everyone. Stay tuned.
Hey, I love you guys.
I love you too, brother.
Hey,
I love
guys.
your attitude, man.
Hey, always. I just go.
And once again,
Peace and love, man.
sir,
Hey.
thank you for your service.
See us 100%.
Your service is what gives us the right to do what we do out here.
Hello? Oh, I don't hit the captain.
Enjoy your last days as chief.
Piccini, that was Piccini, right? Full court, he just went in?
Yeah, that was him.
Yep. And watch, he's going to ignore a crime. That's dereliction of duty. And he sees a crime about to happen. He sees the crime happening. And then when it escalates, he runs away like the little biatch he is.
Chief.
He knows he messed up.
Yeah, what's up?
He knows it.
Absolutely he does.
Yeah, well, he grabbed the camera, right?
He started the whole thing.
Yeah, that's the
He lit that fire.
Instigated it, lit the fire.
He set it on. Yeah, so it was him. He caused that. Anybody got hurt? He was the cause of the
He was the spark that
All
initiated.
these people, the guy with the goatee there, he's going to be talking to me in a minute.
and get
That guy in
everybody
the
else
white,
authority to attack.
with the black jacket, crease back
Then
here,
the
going
other
to be
guy body
assaulting
checks
me.
me. Then he claims injury.
This is all part of the plan.
Mr. Commissioner, what statement do you have on the three women who were allegedly by road now? What's your comment?
I'm asking the commissioner for what's her comment on these women who allegedly were sexually assaulted.
Commissioner, on the three women who were by road to now, and Mayor Staggs allegedly covering it up.
Big news. It's gonna be big news and shit.
Do you care about women?
Exercising our rights, sir. That's the answer to your question. Exercising our rights. That's what we're doing.
Commissioner, you care about women.
What's
you
this
care
guy
about
doing?
protecting women. Let's get some flyers.
I'll go where you go, man.
Leroy.
I'm going to get flyers. Now, look what happens. And you can't hear, I don't think on your footage, you can hear it on mine because I'm in the room. Mayor Stack, as soon as he sees me, I'm going into a public building. I have a right to be there. 150 people came and went there over the last hour or so, the last couple hours. As soon as he sees me, he gives Chief Piccini an unlawful order, says, Chief, and what does he say exactly?
He says, get him out, Chief.
Get him out twice. Get him out, Chief,
Yeah.
get him out. And the chief stands there. He doesn't do anything, but now this mob of people any people more than 4 or more coming at one person, that is considered a riot. And the chief ignored a riot. He watched the crime about to happen as they descended toward me, saw it happen, ignored it, and then he ran out like a little biatch. And you're gonna, and I have. Did you show that him running out in this video?
It shows him leaving. It doesn't show him dash down the block.
I have another video that literally shows him running down the sidewalk away
down the block
in fear.
They all trying to team up behind.
Move it. No, outside. Outside.
All right, don't touch me.
Eso es privado.
I am outside. Don't touch me.
Now they're pushing me. They're all hands on, like 4, 5, 6 people. They're physically pushing me
You
out.
block. I'm not coming
Open the
in.
door. Look at this.
The door's
How
blocked.
can you get out if you don't open the door?
Look at, she's smiling. That's City Commissioner of Department of Public Works, Wendy Gruan. She's smiling the whole time. They all are, because this is all part of their plan. And then she's going to fake fall and claim that I punched her and profoundly injured her, and an ambulance is going to be called in just a few minutes. Someone's going to call 911. The second ambulance is going to be called with Brian Stack and Mayor Turner's failed strategy.
Isn't it open to the public?
And look, that guy has my arm. See that guy with the glasses? He has my arm, and everyone had hands on me.
shove. Yeah.
What's that? Full court?
He gives you the extra hard shove right now.
Yeah.
Like
And he's going to shove me out of the door. And as Marco Navarro says, I want to post this. Marco Navarro says, the chief carries a firearm. Wouldn't he then be committing a crime while in possession of a firearm? Leroy, did you feel threatened knowing he has a firearm? Yes.
Of course.
Oh, and that sound, they just broke my cage to my tripod. That crunching sound you heard, it broke in a very expensive cage that holds my phone in place.
There's the show.
And that guy shot me.
Isn't it open to the public?
Now she's
I
down
think
for the
it's
count.
really clear there. That the momentum, you've already got momentum pushing you backwards.
Right.
That you're going down. And
Yep.
she's got a crowd of people behind her that are
Yep.
all pushing against her to get to you. They're the ones that took her to the ground.
Right.
Yep. Exactly. Clear as day.
And you don't need to be a detective to figure that out.
No, but she claimed I punched her, and I'm awaiting word of the so-called fake injuries. And I have a number of people checking on that. And again, she most likely has already filed charges against me for, who knows, assault and severe injury, who knows. And it's all a freaking lie.
Which arm did you punch her with? The one that was the hand that was on your camera, or the hand that the other guy had a hold of?
Right,
Because she's
exactly.
going to have to stand behind that with an affidavit of truth. That means that she is going to have to put her name on a statement under penalty of perjury.
Right.
And and she's going to have to be able to explain to them which hand. Did you grow a third arm real quick that you punched her with? Because it's clear you had your right hand was on your camera and your left hand was being controlled by an angry mob.
Right. Bingo. Again, you don't have to be Nancy Drew or Hardy Boys here, Sherlock Holmes. And there's many camera angles. There's even clearer camera angles. So she's a fake, a phony, a fraud, a piece of garbage, and she needs to immediately resign or be recalled. She cannot be city commissioner. One more second. Liar in collusion and conspiracy to get a journalist unlawfully arrested. And a lawsuit she probably try to bring. That'll be thrown out so fast, she won't know what freaking hit her.
La policía! Hey, you get out! La policía, llámela rápido! La policía!
You assaulted a woman. You assaulted a woman. I didn't do it. I never came inside.
And you got 15 people now saying suddenly, I assaulted a woman. I assaulted a woman. This is all planned.
Right.
If they actually used their eyes, they were coming toward me, pushing me out of the building. My hands are completely not available, and they're all lying. And guess what? When I file charges, they're all getting charges filed against them tomorrow.
By all of you. I am assaulted by all of you. No. You all went on
assaulting women. Here you are assaulting them.
No.
There's Chief Puccini. He's about to leave. He let them do it. He let them do it. He watched it. Now he's going to leave the scene as it's escalating. And that guy with the U hat, that's Wendy Grullon's husband, who starts screaming, you assaulted my wife. You assaulted my wife. Puccini's leaving. His tail is between his legs. He's running away from the scene of the crime.
I never came. Look at Mayor Stack in the background there.
Oh yeah, watch. There's Mayor. See right there. He goes ballistic because Puccini didn't arrest me or make me leave the building. He's right there. I don't know. Right to the left of that guy with the U hat on. Watch his face carefully. He goes nuts, out of control, psychotic. In there?
I mean, this is just such a gang mentality here.
And he's one of the guys who was hands-on with me as well, right there. Oh, by the way, someone told me, I don't speak Spanish yet, someone told me that Wendy Grullon, commissioner, when other people tried to be the leader of getting me out of the building, she held the people back with her arm, and in Spanish supposedly said, "Let me have him. Let me have him." Got it on tape, lady. That's Justin MERCADO, who assaulted and robbed me, the guy with the glasses in the back there. And I have criminal charges pending against him for robbery and assault. Now, Chief Puccini's going to bail right here. You won't catch it here, but someone else's camera caught it. He runs. He runs.
I think they let the door slam on her too.
I think you're right.
The door.
I think the door
He runs out and lets the door close right on her.
Yeah. So if she's got a concussion, it's because the chief slammed the freaking door on her. Nothing I did. She needs to file charges against the chief. Sue the chief.
Listen, he came into a building that's open to the public, and everybody attacked him. Everybody was attacking him. Listen, I would agree with you. I have to review the footage.
Now, who's that guy texting right here? Because he was one of the assaulters right here. He's texting someone right now. That guy in the black.
Right.
And see what happens.
Get the mayor there. The mayor's going crazy.
Don't touch me. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. I'm not inside.
Can you elaborate on that, full court? He's saying get out. Tell the candidate of that.
I'm already out. I mean,
he's already out. He's on the sidewalk.
Oh man.
Get out. No, bro. This is a private. I will defend myself, bro. This is a private. I'm not going.
Now that guy's threatening full court now. The guy who assaulted me, now he's threatening full court, and full court is saying he will defend himself.
That's okay. Get out. I'm not going inside. I'm not attempting to go inside. Let me be clear. If he touches me, listen, sir. Listen, I will not come inside. Listen. He assaulted my wife. I'm just looking. He assaulted my wife.
You're a complete liar.
You assaulted my wife. I'm going to review the footage.
You assaulted my wife.
What's the police and the ambulance here?
You got to press charges.
Oh, where's the police? Well, the chief bailed. It doesn't get crazier than that. The chief had one function, to make sure I wasn't attacked when he literally saw it about to happen. And then he let it happen, and then he didn't stop it as it was happening. Then he runs out when it escalates after that. You're done, chief. IA complaint against you tomorrow. In fact, you know what, full court? They're going to have to hire a whole new assistant prosecutor for all of the charges I'm bringing against all these people who keep assaulting me over the last 3 months.
Yeah, I keep wondering if you could get some kind of change of venue. This is all some incestuous shit going on here in Union City, with who's seeing who and who's worked with who and who's reporting to who. Like, it's all backwards. You know what I mean? Especially with this.
And hello, Thomas Lozada as well.
No, I am.
I'm pressing charges against all of you.
Pressing charges against
I have it on camera
charges.
that all of you were pushing me and went hands on me. I have it on camera. All of you. Everyone who was put hands on me, you're going to charge it against you. All of you.
Sir, is that you true? Is that what you? Sir, respectfully. Not respectful. You got not respectful. Let's de-escalate. Let's de-escalate.
Let's back.
Hey, you're stealing that from Long Island Audit. He has that copyrighted. You cannot say that. Stop that.
I'm sure I've been influenced.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, Full Court Press is like, he's a grand de-escalator. He's very grounded. You know, you've seen him in the video. You've seen him today. Very grounded. He attempts to de-escalate violent idiots like him. That guy's name is Victor Grullon. He is the husband of the fake, the phony, and the fraud, soon-to-be previous Commissioner Wendy Grullon.
De-escalate. Push my wife.
Chief is
I
back.
was pushed by all the people, by 4 or 5 people.
Sir, can we go this way so we can de-escalate?
Well, that's what I'm trying to de-escalate.
Let's go on the other side and let's de-escalate.
Listen, right now you have an unruly mob inside. Even the mayor is losing his
The
shit.
mayor is the one who commanded them to physically go on, hands on me.
So
The mayor did this.
No, I
I got it all on camera, buddy.
You will act politely
I'm not.
to exit the building.
And who the hell is that guy, Full Court? Who is he?
I don't know who he is, but I just want to make note that he's saying that you were simply asked politely to leave the building.
Right. At no time, the moment I got in the building, get out, get out, get out. And they go hands on me. 5, 6, 7 people pushing me out of the building.
Yeah.
Now, by the way, Vicky, I want to put this up. This is very important here. And Vicky said, you have a right to defend yourself, Leroy. Unfortunately, in New Jersey, you do not have a right to defend yourself unless you are literally backed into a corner. It is pathetic. It is against human nature.
We have a duty
but in
to
New Jersey,
retreat.
you do not have a right to defend yourself. You have to flee. Is the
You have
law.
a duty,
Can you
you have
elaborate
a
on
duty
that,
to
Full Court?
flee. You have a duty to retreat, a duty to flee. That's the law here in New Jersey. I'm just wondering who this guy in the red is, who's taking pictures all the time, and why they never asked him to leave.
Right. Very good point. And so for all the people who say, man, I would have done this, I would have done that. Guess what? If I hit anyone there, which I would not, because I know the law, they would have arrested me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what they wanted. That was the strategy that Mayor Turner of Weehawken gave to Brian Stack. Do something to him so Leroy will strike someone. Except I'm not going to do that. I know the law. Now, if my life is threatened, I will absolutely defend myself. Absolutely. But these situations, they're being bothersome. My life is not in physical danger. But they're doing these things to try to get me to hit them. And I'm not going to play the game.
They're playing checkers. We're playing chess, right? We're not going to
We're playing 3D chess. They're playing tic-tac-toe. We're playing 3D chess.
Fall into that trap, right? Our goal is still remains the same, and we got to keep it clean. So,
right, absolutely.
And it is so obvious that this is organized. When you look at the way they behave, this is organized. You know, they're not just acting on their own. They're acting on what they've been told to do.
Right. Absolutely. And
the guy in the red with the camera, they have no problem with him being there taking pictures.
No, not at all. And here, just skipping ahead here. And that's about it. Just a little bit more with Stack. But what I'm going to do, I want to open it up to calls. If anyone likes to call, we'll keep the phones. We'll keep this going another 10 minutes, 12 minutes. If anyone would like to call, ask Full Court Press, an up-and-coming rising star in the government accountability and activism community, First Amendment activism community. Give a call. Ask them some questions. And you want to talk about this? Any insights you had, maybe we didn't see in this? Scale of 1 to 10. How good of an actress was Commissioner Wendy Grullon? What do you say, Full Court?
She was terrible.
She's a
I'm not
negative.
buying it. I didn't believe it for a
trillion.
second. I still don't believe it. So yeah, she didn't fool me. She needs some more acting lessons.
Right. Or
you
how
know
about
what?
she doesn't
She tried very
do
hard.
any more? Well, how about she doesn't do any more conspiracy to and collusion to unlawfully get me arrested or arrest me for nothing and assault me in the process? You can't be a commissioner. You have just ceded that privilege, Wendy Guyon, by leading the assault in the charge of physically removing myself from that building when I had every legal right to be there, and you had no legal right to touch me. Even Pacini had no legal right to remove me. Even if he had followed Brian Stack's orders, get him out of here, Chief. I didn't break a law. Pacini would have been the one getting harassment charges pressed on him. But he did anyway because
that she took an oath of office.
Yep.
Okay, so what that does when we look at this from kind of a different perspective, that's a contractual thing. She entered into a contract by taking that oath of office, and she became a trustee.
Right.
And she just violated that trust. So now she is in violation of her oath of office. You need to pull her oath of office. Do a records request for her oath of office, because she's now violated that. She's violated the contract that she knowingly and willingly entered into.
Yep.
Not only that, what right do they have to remove you from the building, period? Because this is the government. This is, I don't know who owns the building, but if it's leased, rented if it's leased or rented in any way by the municipality, it becomes public, right? And if you have, they're saying it's only open to Union City, but from what I'm starting to understand is that you can't just open a building to a subset of the public, right? That's discriminating against the rest of it. So once it's open to the public, it's open to the public, period.
Well, I mean, is it a private meeting? Is it a private group?
No.
Is it being done as a government function?
No, Union City residents were walking in and out of there. They weren't asking anybody for ID. There would be no way to know that any of us didn't live in Union City, right?
No, but they made that up after the fact. They made that up, full court, after the fact.
Yeah, they made that
up. The doors
up.
were wide open, and then it was cold, and eventually they closed because it was freaking cold outside. They were not locked. There were no signs, and the doors, people were coming in and out. And I know for a fact that there were people who were not Union City residents. There were people from North Bergen coming in and out of there, and some other places. I recognized them.
No, Mayor Stack just didn't want you or the rest of us in there.
Right, absolutely. All right, we got our first caller here. So welcome. What's your name? If you would like to share it, this is Leroy Truth, and you're on the Leroy Truth Investigations News Network.
Hey, Leroy. How you doing? It's Mike Ninjaleo.
Hey, Mike. Good to talk with you.
Hey, just wanted to, I'm enjoying the show, loving what you're doing in Union City. Keep up the good work. I just wanted to call in and mention, if it was all right with you, about all the stuff that's going on in Lavallette with me. In Lavallette, New Jersey. I know Mayor Stack is one of the worst mayors in the state, and I would say that Mayor LaCicero of Lavallette he's pretty much up there. I was arrested on July 24th along with a friend of mine, Steve Bronco, and we were arrested for filming a public meeting in Lavallette without prior permission.
Can you pause there? Wait, pause there a minute. And I can use just about every city in Hudson County in New Jersey. Not all, because there are some good mayors, but we're talking fractional. Lavallette is apparently very, very dirty. This gentleman recorded in a public space, exercising his First Amendment, and he was arrested unlawfully. And keep going, Mike.
Yeah, and the problem is the Mayor LaCicero, his son is the chief of police, and the arresting officer was the other son. So there's a lot of nepotism going on. They demand that you need prior approval to film their meeting. Now, as most people know, in 2007, Supreme Court of New Jersey guaranteed that it's a common law right to film your public meeting. So I was exercising that right along with my friend Steve. And we actually got permission in an email, and we didn't have our names specified. And they wound up arresting us for filming the meeting. Steve was actually 2 minutes before the meeting even started. I walked in. 5 minutes into the meeting. I wasn't combative. I was completely, because I knew what they were trying to do. They tried to arrest you for disrupting a public meeting. That's how they get you, because they don't have an ordinance that's saying you can't film. It's just a resolution, and it's unconstitutional. And as a safeguard, we actually got the email from the municipal clerk. So right now we're in the process. We went to court on January 18th, and we're still waiting for the motion to be heard. We pled our case. The judge heard our motion, but he hasn't given us a reply yet. So we've been waiting this whole time. We Oprah requested the amount that the special prosecutor is getting paid $17,500 as a retainer fee, and to try to prosecute these illegal arrests. And the whole situation in Lavalette is just completely out of control. And I just wanted to just mention that. It's it's pretty wild what's going on there. And it's we're still waiting for a reply.
All right.
On that, but
well, hopefully the judge, Mike, will do the right thing. And Mike and I have talked previously, and I'm going to be covering the story of Mike exclusively. And you have video again, Mike, right?
Yes, I have video of the arrest, and it couldn't be more cut and dry. They absolutely will kick anyone out of that meeting who's filming if they don't have prior permission. And I could walk into a public meeting and I don't have to identify who I am or what I'm doing.
Absolutely not.
But we even gave them an email as a safeguard, just to let them know that we were coming. They sent us the guidelines and they said, enjoy your weekend. And, they decided to arrest us because they want to know who you are when you're walking in that room. And they wound up arresting the both of us, charged us with disrupting a public meeting by means of physical interference, specifically by recording.
Oh my God!
Which was ridiculous, and that's exactly what the sergeant did to me. He disrupted the meeting by physically interfering, and he's also the mayor's son, and his brother is the chief.
Yep.
A lot of corruption going on. The other thing with Lavalette is they just regained control of their police department back in April of last year. From the Hudson County Prosecutor's office, because they had violations galore. They weren't in that with their certifications. They had so many problems. So the Hudson County Prosecutor's office took over control. Just to give you a little example of, how bad everything is running in Lavalette. And the reason why I was there was I wanted to talk to the council about handicapped beach mats for the beach, because we have beach mats all along the Jersey Shore, but not in Lavalette. And I have friends who are disabled. And I have a friend in Lavalette who's been wanting to use the beach, but he can't access it without a beach mat. So that was the reason why I was there. It was about handicapped beach mats. So now we're going through this whole court case and everything like that. And, it's just wild.
Mike, if you could pause there a minute. This makes me so incredibly angry because you are literally advocating for accessibility for people who are handicapped. And you are attempting to let your government elected officials know, and that's their job. Their job is not to have nepotism. They have the stack hacks there. Stack hacks, they have the hacks there, the nepotism. And their job is not to arrest you unlawfully. I mean, you even jumped through the hoops, which you didn't have to do, of course, but you jumped through the hoops. I got an email. And you even did what they asked, and they arrested you anyway, and they are saying, disorderly conduct because the camera's disorderly. Full court, what would you say to that?
I would say they're probably in violation of the Open Public Meetings Act, which is actually a state law as well. It's the Sunshine Law, which gives you those rights. So you should look into that. It's going to be a problem for them. I say hold them accountable, man. They're in violation not only of the Constitution but of state law as well. So that's just another layer of protection.
And I encourage you, if you haven't read the open meeting, well, hold on, Liberty. If you haven't read, Mike, the Open Meetings Act yet, read it. This is your.
Oh, I absolutely have.
Good.
I absolutely have. And I also went to the Founders Day, which was like a community event in Lavalette, like 2 months after my arrest. And I ran into the council president. And I have her on video stating that the arrests were illegal, because I asked her, I said, can you guarantee that nobody else will be arrested for filming? And she said, oh, no, that's not going to happen. We learned from you that it's illegal. And that made me feel like at least this won't happen to anyone else in the future. And then this year at their reorganization meeting, they adopted a new resolution that now says that anyone who's filming has to have 24 hours advance notice. So they doubled down on their needing prior approval. Anybody who walks into that council meeting, they will arrest if they don't have prior approval, regardless of our common law right to do so.
Right. Well, here's the thing is, apparently they have a 3-day rule for the Board of Education. You're supposed to give, ask for permission. I'm not going to ask for permission, and I didn't. And guess what? The police officers in Union City were told point blank, from what I understand, by Alicia Morahone while I was speaking to remove me from the meeting. And they asked why. Because he's talking rudely and he's talking too loudly. And they said, he has a right, First Amendment right to talk as rudely as he wants. He has a First Amendment right to talk as loudly as he wants. And you're not our boss, biatch. What's that?
Decorum. That's what they always say at the meetings.
Right, decorum. Removing me from office isn't decorum.
Decorum is for them. Decorum is for them. We have freedom of speech.
Right, exactly. Exactly. And Mike, I can let you go now. Give me a call tomorrow.
There's a bigger issue here, Leroy.
Go ahead,
with what he's talking about.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Wait, stay on. I want you to hear this from Liberty Warrior. Go ahead.
Okay.
So there's a slightly bigger issue here. He basically was going to this meeting to ask for an accommodation under ADA Title II, and basically, gets arrested for being at the meeting. So let's set that part aside right now, and let's look at the bigger picture where you've got the federal law on your side. Okay, is the first thing I would do Monday morning is I would call and ask to speak to their ADA coordinator, their Title II coordinator. The moment they can't figure out who that is, okay, get a hold of the DOJ and start filing a Title II complaint against them. Get the DOJ involved, because now if they've ever taken any federal money, they will look into that and they will start pulling back any federal money if they see that there actually is a violation of discrimination there.
That's fantastic. And see, the thing is, they actually got beach mats donated from the Army Corps of Engineers, but they were blue beach mats, so they actually threw them away. And the reason why they got rid of them was because they wanted white beach mats. The handicap color blue that we all associate handicap with, that's the color you see all along the Jersey Shore. But right. They got them donated, and they threw them away because they didn't like the way they looked. We have the emails. We Oprah requested all the information. We know what they've done with it, which is troubling in itself, aside from the whole fact.
Right.
But they don't even have a ADA coordinator. A lot of towns don't.
Right.
Oh, no, you're absolutely right. Most don't. And you can take advantage of that. Use that as one of the sharpest arrows in your sling, is the fact that they don't have an ADA Title II coordinator, and they're always going to be violating those accommodation laws. So use that to your advantage and put their nuts in a vice.
Right, absolutely. All right, I gotta let you go, Mike. Thanks for calling. Call me tomorrow. I want to coordinate so we can get your story.
I'll call you tomorrow, Leroy. Thank you.
God bless you. Okay, bye. All right, and Jose, if you're still there, call in. If not, we're going to wind this up. We've been on here 2 hours. And what do you want to share before we go? Maybe Jose, if he's available, he'll call in. He'll be our last caller. If not, full court. What would you like to share? Just you have. Jose's going to join us in a minute. Hold on, Jose. Full court. What would you like to share?
Just that.
Wait, Jose. Hold on.
These meetings have been getting progressively worse. Now we have multiple mayors getting involved. Of course. And I'm almost speechless at what's been occurring as we go to these meetings. But just know that what we're doing is for a greater purpose, right? There are people that are they're having their rights trampled on. There's women who are coming forward with very serious allegations that no one is doing anything about. The government isn't doing anything for them. Mainstream media doesn't care. And so, we definitely appreciate our supporters and everybody watching these videos and everybody who's giving in tips. So if you have any tips, keep giving them, and we'll keep investigating, and we really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, full court. And we're not done yet. Jose's going to come on. He is the whistleblower from Union City, New Jersey, who was intimidated to vote for Brian Stack by Brian Stack from a phone call by Brian Stack. And before I do, I want to give a shout out to Deli Flores. Now, Deli Flores, she had these printed. She doesn't have a lot of money, but she said she wanted to proudly wear these around Union City. And she had a number of them made up. This is a long sleeve version. And then she has a short sleeve version as well. She gave me this one as a gift. And we are going to be selling these, by the way, at a very reasonable rate because Deli found someone with a great price point. We're going to be selling for $25 or $30, which will help the mission of the investigation work that I'm doing. But those are some that Deli Flores, who she alleged that Mayor Brian Stack sexually assaulted her. And Mayor Stack won't address it. So, I mean, the list goes on and on. So our last caller today, and stay tuned because this is Jose, and he is the first whistleblower, brave man to come forward, regardless of any Stack retaliation. He has gotten death threats since he came forward on my show, talking candidly about Mayor Stack allegedly intimidating him to vote, and found out he didn't vote because he was away. So, Jose, in our last few minutes here, what would you like to share here?
Hey, good afternoon, guys. How y'all doing?
Hey.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear him? Good.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Apparently, like everything that's going on, there's a lot of conspiracy that's going on. There's a lot of corruption that's going on. These guys, they do what they want to do, how they want to do it, when they want to do it. And Brian Stack's cover everything for them. Brian Stack pays everything for them. Everybody you see there in this video, they all have a position, and the position is told by Brian Stack.
Pause there, Jose. Pause there a minute. For those who just joined us, this is Jose. He's a Department of Public Works worker for many years in Union City, New Jersey, and the first whistleblower to talk about the alleged corruption candidly on camera. Please continue, Jose.
Yeah, so like I was saying, this guy, he covers everything. He threatens people. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, he'll figure out a way to intimidate you, to set you up. In other words, he had me arrested one time because I wouldn't do what he wanted to do. He fired me one time because I refused to work when he wanted me to work as he wanted me to work. And they were double dipping because I was hired by DPW and I was getting paid by Parking Authority. And when I bring it to his attention, they try to get rid of me. And what they did was they falsified paperwork and said that I resigned when I never resigned.
Mayor Brian Stack, corrupt piece of garbage. He needs to be. He needs to be wearing some of those nice little striped gowns. Oh, and you know what? Maybe he'll be lucky, and he'll be there with Senator Bob Menendez. They can figure out who's going to be the top, who's going to be the bottom, all of that good stuff that fellow citizens will be looking at. I think you're a bottom guy, Stack. I got to tell you. All right, Jose, and this is Mayor Brian Stack. This is directly from a city worker in Union City who is fearless. He is not caving into the fear of retaliation. He has stood up bravely to Brian Stack for years now.
Yeah, before I go, I would like to say something else. That now I recently signed a complaint. Well, not a complaint. I signed a harassment charge because they've been leaving me messages on my phone, leaving me threats and telling me to watch my back, to watch myself, to be careful, that anytime they're going to strike. And, basically, and at the job, they telling people at the job not to consult with me, not to talk to me, not to be seen with me, due to the simple fact of what I'm doing and what I have done. But this is something that I've been doing for the past 13 years, standing up to him, fighting, standing my grounds. And supposedly that Wendy's his sidekick, and she's supposed to be on our side, and she takes his side. She has never been part of DPW. And the way she got the position was because Brian Stack did a petition to get the prior gentleman that was in the that had the position because he wasn't complying much with Brian. And he did a petition to get her inside.
Pause there, Jose. Wendy, he's speaking of, is the woman who assaulted me, the blonde lady with the lobotomized smile on her face, and the one who fake fell. She is the city commissioner of the Department of Public Works, completely unqualified for the position. She helps Brian out. He helps her out. They've never even seen her. And he's been here 13 years in the context of the Department of Public Works commissioner. It's nuts.
Nobody knows who she is.
I do, because she's a faker and a fraud and a really, really bad actress. So, Jose, I gotta let you go. We're gonna wrap up the show today. Thanks so much for calling, and we'll be talking.
Shout out to you, Jose, man.
My pleasure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I so appreciate you spending time. We've had over 200 people here the entire evening. We've been here over 2 hours now, and we're gonna wrap this up. And I appreciate each of you. And if you want to redress the government, if anyone can put on in the chat the number for Mayor Stack's office, and if you want to redress the government, always peacefully, always professionally. I never condone violence or threats whatsoever. I condemn them. But peacefully and passionately, and to redress the government, if you would like to demand that these 3 women who have come forward with sexual assault allegations be protected immediately, you can contact his office, so he knows. You can also contact the Hudson County Prosecutor's office, Esther Suarez, who allegedly was his mistress, also appointed by him, but let her know anyway. Also let the New Jersey State Attorney General know. What's that, full court?
I said that part.
Which part?
That she was allegedly also his mistress.
Right. And how do I know that? Because I talked with a number of people who knew the driver who used to allegedly pick Brian Stack up the morning after they did the nasty. And so I've heard that from numerous people. So do you think there's conflict of interest there? I think. So with that, God bless you all. Please make sure to subscribe to Full Court Press.
Appreciate
He's awesome.
it.
He's my very good friend. He's got my back. We're going to continue to work together until Mayor Brian Stack is exposed completely and most likely indicted. So, Mayor Stack, would you prefer handcuffs in silver or gold? And I won't be getting you any files with cake for your birthday. And, hold on. We have David Good Guy Activism calling in the last minute here. He started it all. Dave, we're going to take your final call. I saw you call. I said, I got to take your call before we end the live stream. Go ahead.
Hello?
You're on the air with Full Court Press and Leroy Truth Investigations.
What's up, my brother?
Is this Leroy Truth and Full Court Press?
It is, believe it or not. I don't know if you dialed the wrong number looking for pizza, beer.
I just want to call and say I love you guys and I love your work. And you sure do pack a punch.
Thank you, good guy. And good guy is awesome.
I love you, DGA.
I wish I was with you guys.
Yeah, we gotta have you on next time. I want you on next time with us. And because
I'm saying I wish I was there in person.
Oh, I wish you were freaking there too.
Yeah,
so,
right. Hell yeah.
So next time.
That seemed eventful.
Oh yeah, that was
very eventful. Definitely missed you there.
Like, they didn't expect you to have both hands on your camera.
No, they didn't. They assumed they can somehow show, I didn't get the right angle, and they can convince a judge and the prosecutor to indict me. They didn't plan that I have one hand on the top of my camera and the other on my tripod.
Yeah.
I mean, you had hardcore evidence of the public official attacking you. And right. I don't know what they did. They was like saying that nothing could happen, but they have no evidence of you attacking them. And if something comes of it, that's going to be some real bullshit.
Oh yeah, this is big stuff. And Wendy, you're going down. You're going down, baby. You're not my baby. You're never going to be my baby. And your little bitch ass, wussy little beta boy husband that stands by while you so-called get attacked. No.
Yeah.
A man wouldn't do that. It was planned Victor, your husband, Victor Grullon, spelled Grullon, he knew exactly what you were doing. It was all planned.
He left herself on the floor was smiling.
Yes, she was smiling the whole time. I was just assaulted, I claim. She had the lobotomized smile. I think she had a lobotomy. That's why Brian Stack likes her so much. Maybe that's why Victor likes her so much. She had a lobotomy. She doesn't talk back to him.
I think you hit the nail on the head with that one. I couldn't explain it. Like, why doesn't she talk? She just smiles. It has to be a lobotomy. There's no other reason.
Yep, I think that's it.
It's part of her orders. It's part of her orders to maintain a smile. Like you know the girls that when they hold up the cards in the boxing ring between rounds and they have to smile. They're always like that. She's like one of those.
She's like a really dumb Vanna White of Brian Stack's universe here. And nothing against Vanna White. She's awesome. I like Vanna White.
Shout out to her.
We're still going to get married someday, perhaps. But anyway, good guy. Thanks so much for calling in.
Not if
all right, God bless you.
Not if Kathleen Foley gets to you first.
Oh, no comment. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Yay. Peace.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much again for joining us. You're awesome. And again, shout out to Ryan and Thomas and Claudette, Raya Hoot, Marco Navarro, Ernie, Chris Budisa, and the list goes on. 7 cities. Appreciate so much. And if you want to reject the government peacefully, do so. Protect these 3 women because they've not been protecting them at all. They're in danger, these women, because the alleged sexual assaulter is still on the loose and still working there. Until I have confirmation of otherwise, he's still working there. All right, Full Court Press, thank you. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Full Court Press. God bless you all. We'll see you next time.
See you later.
I am Leroy.